everybody! This will be the first episode of my 5-part series on how to make Minecraft skins. So for this episode, I'm going to show you 3 different softwares that you can use. All of them are free, and one you need to download, but the other 2 you can access just on your browser. So with that, let's get into it. The first one is the one I use the least, my least favorite, but it works, is actually the Skindex editor itself. So I'm assuming most of you are probably familiar with the Skindex and you probably found me through that, but I'll go over everything just in case someone's new or maybe there's something you haven't seen. And if you notice that I miss something or give some wrong information, please let me know because I honestly don't use this a lot and we can just make that a learning experience for us all. Maybe I'll make another episode to fix all that up. So with that, to get onto Skindex, you see, you just type it into your browser. Let me show you again. And click the first option. And then it will bring you to this site. Naturally, you will not be signed in unless you've already done that. But if you don't have an account, you're going to have to click register and choose an email that you can get the verification code from. So you have to have access to it. And then just make your password and voila. Don't be a robot. If you already have an account, just hit sign in and pop in your username or email and password. Okay, so once you've signed in, up on this top right hand corner, you'll have your profile picture and name. Just click on that and go to view profile. And voila, here's all your stuff. We've got the most recent skins at the top, your bio, profile picture, all that. But that's not what we're going over. We're going over how to make skins. So you're going to go to editor. And you will see a bunch of tools here in this empty skin. And that is what we're going to be working with for pretty much all of this software. Let's just do a quick overview of what tools we have. We have the pencil tool, and you'll notice next to the pencil tool words, there's a little P in parentheses. If you actually hit the key P on your keyboard, it'll move you to pencil. So for this one, the eraser tool, you just hit E. See, I didn't click it. You'll just have to take my word for it. And it just brings you right to that. We have auto tone. You'd hit A to get that. The shortcuts are just nice. If you do this enough, it'll just be muscle memory and it makes things a lot faster. Color picker, C. Bucket tool, B. Also fill tool. We have undo, redo, darken, lighten, zoom in, zoom out. The mirror tool, and the option to reset the skin. Up here we have the color picker, and here's the color that is currently being used. And down here you have the option to just do the body of the skin or access the outer layer. And by clicking these, you can make parts disappear so you have better access to other sides. And right below this, don't ignore this, you have the option of a classic skin or a slim skin. Classic just means 4 pixel arms. Slim means 3 pixels. This is generally what Alex would be and Steve would be 4 pixels. I like 4 pixels just because there's more space to work with and I like to have as much space as I can. It's just a personal preference. You can do whatever you like. And then you have the option to upload your skin to Skindex, download it to your computer, or upload a skin that you already have on your computer to this editor. So now that we've gone over a brief overview, let me get a little more in-depth with the tools we have here. I'm actually going to start out of order and start with the bucket tool here. I'm going to hit B. And for this demonstration, I'll make a goofy little lemon man because I don't know what else to make. So I'm going to start by getting rid of the outer layer because I like to start my base out with just the body. Outer layer is generally for accessories like clothes or something that you want to pop out. So don't worry about that yet. So we just want to be on body and have that highlighted in orange. And I'm going to simply turn everything yellow by clicking each side. It'll fill up your entire side, but there's no option to do like the entire cube that you're working with, which kind of sucks. Blockbench, the next software we're going to use, does do that, and that's one of the reasons I like it more. And we're just going to get all sides. Now, you'd think right now it's fully covered and there are no empty spaces, but do not be fooled. All you got to do is click this little figure here. You see how each box is outlined in orange? You'll click it and notice that it becomes gray and it'll disappear on this editing field. And now look, right in here, this is empty. And if you uploaded it like this to the game, this will just be black. But we like to be thorough, so let's just get all the sides. So we've gotten all the inside parts, and also got to get the body. We don't need to get rid of that leg. See, you're going to get, remember that each cube has 6 sides, so just check all 6. And so now we've got all 6 done. And we have this very eye-melting yellow, which maybe I should have chosen a lesser color, but I like yellow, so what can I say? And yeah, so now we've made our base. Other tools we have to use, let's go to pencil tool. This one's pretty self-explanatory, but let's just go over it. Let's give our lemon man a smile. Let's see. Oh, isn't he cute? Okay. Actually, I don't like that. Imagine I don't like how this is. Look, it's off-centered. I messed up because I guess my eyes are failing me today. You can actually just undo it by hitting this button or just clicking U as many times as you want, and it will get rid of this 1 pixel at a time. So it could take a while if you made like a giant stroke. I'm not going to demonstrate that because I don't want to sit here and hit U like 20 billion times. But yeah, that's an option. And if you're like, man, I didn't actually want to undo that, you can hit R and it will redo it. But I do want that gone, so we're going to keep it like that. Okay, is that centered? That's not centered. We're going to undo that. So we got 2 here. We're going to give him a little smile because I don't have time for this. I want to bring the eye here. Okay, that's cute. Yeah, so this guy needs some texture, which we'll use autotone for. But before we can do that, you'll notice here, this is not the color we want to use for his body. And we could try and manually get the right one, but that could take like forever. So we're actually going to hit C, and you just hover over the color you want and click. And notice how it changes. Easy peasy. So we like that. Now, you'll notice how it goes automatically to pen tool, so I'd be able to draw with it, which is really handy. But that's not what we want right now, because we've already shown you that one. For autotone, you'll simply move it along the skin, and it'll create texture. But if you do it while it's like on the perfect yellow with no darkness, it won't actually work, so there won't make any difference. At least not a visible one. There might be a slight difference, but you can't really tell. So the farther away you get it from this like nice perfect yellow, the more contrasting you'll see it is. See, look at that. That's really nice. Now I'll move it a little closer because I don't want quite that much contrast. And you just keep moving it around until you get a texture you like. If you're like, man, this is too light or too dark or whatever, you just keep adjusting it and adding on colors. It'll automatically just vary it for you, which is nice because you could do this manually and keep tapping around. This just saves you time. Now generally, when I make textures, I like to do it my own way because I just like the style I use with texturing, but this is a nice fast way if it fits your style and you enjoy it. Now this would probably take a little longer to get something you really like, but let's say he's beautifully textured now. So now that we've used our autotone, we can work on other things. Let's say we want to give it some shading and I want to put like a gradient on the arms. That's where our lightening and darkening can come from. You could actually use this to make your textures just as autotone does, but it would just take a lot more clicking. So we'll go to pen tool, and imagine I want to do some shading on this arm. Darken color, to get to that, you'd hit Z, and to lighten it, you could hit X. So if I hit Z, watch, I don't know if you were watching already, but watch up here. I'm going to hit Z again. It does the same if you click the button. It actually moves it down to something darker. And now, after that, I can just make the mark. And I'm going to go back up. This one is X, so X, it's going to go up. Or I can tap the button. And look at that, it's lighter. We're just lightening it again until we get to the original color. Lighten it up. Yeah, and look at that, we made a little gradient. So that's really handy. Now, say we really want to like zoom in on some detail. All you got to do is hit zoom in or Q, and it'll move it in. Or you can hit zoom out or W and make it go really far away if you want to have a nice far away view. I don't know why you'd want that, but your choice. But yeah, so that's a little handy. That's good to use. I went way too far in. Now it looks like we've gone over most of it. There's just a couple more things we need to do. One of those is mirroring. So how does this tool work? Pretty much, let's say I want to make some sort of detail. Like give him some, I don't know, fun little band on his wrists. And I want to do it on both arms. By hitting mirror tool, or I think it's M, yeah, or you can hit M, and you'll do the mark and it'll actually do it on both sides. So look at that. Isn't he gorgeous? He's got his nice little wrist spins. Oh, that looks the same as the smiley face. Yeah, that was intentional. So that'll work. You can do it on the legs too. And you get the same sort of pattern, which is really cool. Now, it actually doesn't work here on the body or the head. You can also do it on like either side and that won't work. Just hit U and undo those. So it only works for the limbs, which is another feature I don't love, but like it's still handy. We can use it. We love what they've given us. They did their best. Okay, so we've got that. Now I'm just going to show you the eraser tool. Obviously, I don't want to erase anything here because that'll just get rid of our base. But I can give him, say, a leaf on top of his head. So this is like his accessory. We're going to make it pop out. And I like this color. We're just going to pop this here. Oh wait, let's get off a mirror tool before I mess something up. And we're just going to make a little leaf. We can actually use the light. I should probably show you the lightning for that. Okay, yeah, so now we have this nice textured leaf on top of the head. This is where the eraser tool comes in because we actually want this to be fully gone when we make a mark. So let's say I want that part gone. All I got to do is tap on it and it'll disappear. The nice thing about the layer is that anything in the layer will not appear black. It's only the body that will appear black if there's no coloring on it and it's just an empty pixel. And yeah, that's pretty much all the tools over here. If we want to reset the skin, you'll just hit that and it'll ask you, are you sure you want to proceed? All your work will be lost. But we love Mr. Lemon Man, so we're going to cancel that. But if you say okay, it'll just reset all this and you'll have a blank skin again with no coloring. Last, before I show you uploading, the color picker here, you can drag everything around in the box to get it to change your saturation. And if you move around here, you can change the hues, which is another really cool feature that we can talk more about later. And that's pretty much all you can do for choosing colors. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything you have at your disposal. If there's anything else you guys can think of, tell me in the comments. It'll be a learning moment for all of us. So, now let's go to uploading. We're done with our skin. Lemon Man is complete. He is ready to show everyone his glamour. So all we're going to do is hit upload to Skindex since we already have the skin on here. If you didn't want to upload it yet and say you want to make a couple more skins, because if you do start a new one, this will all be lost if you don't have it downloaded. You'll just hit download and you'll notice it downloads it right up to the computer and you'll be able to access it in your files. I'm not going to show you because I don't know how to hide my other files and I don't need to show you all the crazy documents I have to download for school and stuff. So yeah. You can also then upload it from your computer by clicking this button and then clicking the file you downloaded and it'll pop back up on here. Or if you download some other skin or PNG file that is in this format, you can upload that, pick that through your computer and it'll pop up in here and you can edit it. So I actually use that feature to check my skins after I'm done with using Blockbench, and I'll show you all that later. But yeah, these are handy buttons. But since we have it already here, upload to Skindex. We'll click that. Okay. And you'll see this nice little page here. You're going to have to put in a title, so let's call him Lemon Man. Let's give him a smiley face. He'll appreciate that. And description is optional. We'll say lemon because we just want to have something. And then you'll just create tags. Now tags is not something you want to ignore. This will really help you to get people to see your skins. So all it is that you're just going to look at all the features of your skin and describe it in one word and just list those out. So I'm going to put the most important ones first. I don't know if that actually matters, but it's just for my own sanity that I do that. So Lemon Man, generally I'll just put the same thing as in the title. That's probably redundant, but I would just do it anyway. Yellow, because he's yellow. I don't know. Textured. Smile. Is there anything else? He's got a gradient. Yeah, just simple words like that. Happy. You could even say cute, because he's cute. Stuff like that. Only things that pertain to it though. Like if you put blue and someone types in, say they want like a blueberry skin and they type in blue, this might actually pop up, and that's not what they're looking for. So don't be that person. Now if they want, say, a lemon man, they'll type in lemon, and that keyword will register with this, and it's more likely that it'll pop up. So definitely do this. If you can use all the characters, do that, but don't just make up stuff. That's pretty much the moral of the story. And then just click I'm not a robot, and you upload it. I'm not going to do that because people will be very confused, but who knows? Maybe I'll make a real Lemon Man skin later on and have some fun with that. So yeah, once you've done that, it'll actually pop up on the latest skins. So this was like just uploaded. And you can also go to your profile and see your latest upload here. Now, this is like a little sort of troubleshooting thing that I think everyone really needs to know. And this is like my little secret. I don't know if it's cheating, but sometimes when you upload skins, you have your title in, your description, your tags, and you'll a file that works, click I'm not a robot, and it'll tell you upload failed or something like that with red. Like, I don't know exactly what the message is because I don't know how to like actually get it. But generally it's that something in your description has flagged it. You don't even need to swear or anything. I don't know what words they have in there, but I'll just have like a normal description like, hey guys, here's a new skin, blah, blah, blah. Or like tell a story behind it, and it'll flag it. All you gotta do is take your text, copy it. I just did Control-C. Delete it by hitting backspace, and just upload it like normal. Then you're gonna go into your profile, find the skin, hit edit, and then just paste it into the description. And then save, obviously. And then literally it works. So, I don't know. Just try that before you go crazy, because it took me a little bit to figure that out, and I was like, what is wrong? But that's just what worked. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is for the Skindex. I'm gonna go more into like the techniques in other videos, but this is just generally the tools you can use. And now our second tool, which is split into two parts because there's a web version and an app version, is Blockbench. So to get onto that, we're just going to type in Blockbench, click on, it's generally going to be the first option, and you'll be opened up to this page. If it's something else and doesn't say like blockbench.net, don't do it. It's probably a scam. Don't just download anything off the internet, please guys. I don't want you guys to get scammed or anything. Now if you want the app version, you're going to hit download. I'll show you how to do that later. Or for the other version, you can just click Open Web App, and it'll open a new page here where you can do pretty much the same stuff, but on your browser. I'm guessing it's a little slower, but honestly, everything I've done in Blockbench has been so much more smooth than in Skindex. So hopefully Skindex doesn't find this video. I'm just kind of like dissing them the whole time. But hey, what can you do? So pretty much to use this, it's not too hard. A lot of this is going to be similar, but they just have a few features that I really like, besides the fact that it's just smoother in general. And all you're going to do is click Minecraft Skin and create new model. Now you're going to have a ton of crazy options. Don't worry about anything besides player wide and player slim, because these are only things that pertain to Skindex uploads. Wide is just the 4-pixel arms that I showed you earlier, and slim is just the 3-pixel ones. I like the Steve one, as I've already told you, so we're going to keep it on that. But you pick whichever one you like. Resolution, default. Texture, we're going to create that, so don't worry. Pose, we don't want that. I'll show you a little more about what posing is. It's kind of goofy, but it'll just make things easier if we don't have it. And layer texture, don't worry, there's already going to be a layer. I don't know why it's like that. I think it's just, it'll pop up an already filled layer for you, and you're just going to have to delete it all because we're going to work on the base first. So confirm, and then you'll get this cute little UV guy. And over here, this is going to be actually what the PNG file looks like. That's what they upload to Skindex, and that's what the Skindex files also look like. So that's pretty cool. You'll be able to see that. And I like it mainly because I can tell where the front of the face is. I know that this area is the front and this area is the back. So if I've been working and I make my smiley or something and I see it over here, then I'll know, oh man, this is backwards. Because let me tell you, I have done this backwards so many times. I made a skin that I loved, and it took me forever to like flip it all around. Just save yourself the trouble and check before you do it. Honestly, even on the Skindex and you're on the editor, you can't really tell. So before you go crazy, just make sure you're working on the right side. I don't even know if this guy was on the right side. If it is, you should see the front on the left side and the back on the right side. So just be aware of that. It'll look the same as this. So it should look like that. And yeah, so back to Blockbench. After my little tangent, we're going to work on this guy. Let's make lemon guy here. So all the tools you need, instead of being vertically aligned on your left side, they're up on the top here. And we got a few more. It probably looks a little overwhelming to start, but trust me, it's not that bad. You don't even use all this stuff. At least I don't. There's probably more stuff you could use, but there's not a lot you need. And it's like so much more simple and just intuitive. I love it. It's great. So let's just go over everything there is and make another lemon man. Okay, so there's some shortcuts for some of these. Paint Bucket doesn't have one. As you notice, there's nothing next to the name. If someone knows about one, let me know in the comments. But as far as I know, I'm just gonna click on it. It's pretty simple anyway. So Paint Bucket, we're gonna choose, instead of having the hues be on a circle around it, it's just on the side. And we're gonna go on our saturation to this bright yellow. I like to keep it a little towards the orange for my colors. It's my favorite color yellow. And we're going to work on the base first. Now this little thing, toggle skin layer, when you click that, it will take away and add your layer. You'll notice we just added it. And when we click it again, if you see these little eyes that are crossed out, that means it's hidden. So it's there, we just aren't working on it. And to see it, all you got to do is just click that. Simple enough. So we're working on our base to start. And we're just going to do, now in Skindex, you have to do each of the sides to fully do the cube. But here, you can actually choose, you see how it says face here? You can choose element, connected colors, or colors. Element means it's going to actually fill in the entire block. And let me show you what the other ones are. Let's say we make this little circle here. These 3 yellows are connected. So if we go to connected colors and fill that, it'll only do this connected space. And if we do colors, it will do all of that color, even if it's not connected. So that's cool, but only for that surface. Keep that in mind, not for the whole element. The only way to do the whole element is to click actually element. Now, I don't want this crazy bit of chaos to be on my skin, so I'm just gonna click element again and clear it off. Okay. So to add details, we got paintbrush, which I guess you can hit B for. Pretty handy. And let's just make our smile again. How did we do it? It was like 2 here, and then our eyeballs. And there's Lemon Man. He's looking great. And so yeah, we can use that for details. Pretty much the same as a Skindex. That one's easy. The other tools I use, this also has color picker. Just hover it over and tap it. Or let's say we want to change it back to yellow. Just tap that. And now we are on yellow again. Simple and easy. We like that. Okay, the mirror tool here is so much better, let me tell you. It shows you the vertical plane, which is really nice. I just like the graphics here too better. And I'll show you how nice this is, but first, notice that when we pick the color, it didn't move it to the paintbrush. That's something I don't like about Blockbench and that I do about Skindex. But just keep that in mind, you have to go back to paintbrush, or you'll tap it again and it'll change it to whatever color you see, and you're gonna be like, oh man, what's happening? That's just something you have to get used to. Now we can use our mirror tool. Notice how this also remembers your past colors, which is really nice. It goes up to like, I don't know, what is that, like 10? And you can have one in the background that'll switch. So say we want to have orange in the background, you can just hit this button and it'll swap between those two. Because if you're using 2 main colors, it's a lot of work to keep tapping this. So to do this, you can also hit X and it'll swap them. So you don't even need to go over there and click, you can just keep working. So let's say we're on yellow. We've saved this here. We could also click it back here or use the color picker. There's so many options. You choose what works for you. But I'll just do the simplest one and hit X. And now we've got our orange. So mirror tool's on. Be aware of when it's on and when it's off, because I've worked like an entire arm and did all the details and then realized it wasn't on. And that was a pain because it's really hard to copy. You can use the color picker and do like each one, but that sucks. And yeah, it'll work on the legs. And notice it'll also work on the body and the head. Ooh, look at that. He's amazing. To do undo, It's just Control Z. See, I'm Control Z. And to redo, just hit Control Y. I think there's a button for it. I honestly don't use a button for it because it's just so simple to do that. Just do your control buttons. Yeah, so that's how you undo and redo. So imagine we want to do some editing details on the inside of the arm. All you got to do is just click the eye around the body and it will make that disappear and you can start working. If you hit the one, both the body base and the body layer are in a folder, and if you hit the eye there, it will make both of them reappear and both of them disappear. So if you want to get rid of them both at once, that's an easy way to do it. In this case that works, but in other cases you might want just the body or just the layer, and you'll have to click those individually. And so yeah, now we can work in here. The same works for all of these, but if you want to quickly reset them, I just like tap them all and then they'll come back. And if you want to quickly get rid of all layers, you just tap this once and then again, and they'll all come back and then all go away. So that's something you just got to get used to. These few buttons are all you need. If you want to turn it, you just got to left click on your mouse and drag. And to move the body around the screen, you just got to right click and hold and drag that around. To zoom in, all you got to do is do the scroll bar on your mouse or the equivalent on the trackpad. Oh, whoa, yeah. So if you can do Control and then pull your fingers apart or together on the trackpad, that will do it. But also just scrolling on your mouse will do the job just as well. Let me just show you a couple more cool features and then we'll be all set with this. You can explode the skin model, which does not mean that it's all going to go into little tiny pixels. All it does is just bring each block apart and you can work on it like that, which is really nice. But sometimes I like to see how it looks together, so generally I'll work like this. I did say I'd show you posing, so if you go up here, you have paint and you have pose. And if you click pose, you'll see down here a bunch of random poses. Literally, you just hit those and it'll show him moving around. So maybe like for mine, I have dragon tails. It'll show you how like the tail breaks when you're walking, which I don't like, but there's no way I can fix it. But if you want to look and see how it would look when it's in movement, you can just go to here. So that's pretty cool. Generally though, you're going to want to work like this just because it's less of a headache and you can see everything. Okay, so if we want to work with the layer, not explode skin model, I always hit that for some reason. Just hit this and the layer's back, and let's make that leaf. So this is a nice color. Oops. See, notice how we're still on mirror tool? That will mess with you, I'm telling you. Control Z and click mirror painting off, and then we'll make a little lemon leaf. That's not as beautiful as I'd want. And that's a good moment to use eraser tool. You can also hit E, just hit the pixel you want to get rid of, and bam. Now there's two more things I want to show you, I believe. First, I want to show you opacity. This is a beautiful thing, as well as size. We should show you that too. But I use this so much, and Skindex doesn't have it. Now that I have it, I literally can't use that other editor. I feel like I'd be missing an arm. So all you do for opacity is you pick a darker or lighter color, and you can move this arrow to change the opacity. The highest one is, what was that, 255? Yeah, but you can bring that down to however you want. This is about halfway here. You can also click it and then drag to the side, and it'll bring it down like that. See? All the way to 0, and it's a little faster. Your choice. You can also double click and then type it in. So like, say I want 100, which is a little less than half. And then that's there. I don't know why it's 255, but just to be aware, that's the most, and 0 is like, it's invisible. So we're like halfway there. Be careful not to mark around here. The only way that you can really, the opacity, you won't really see it. See, like oh wait, hold on. Go to paintbrush first. You click it. You can tell good here because it's full opacity, but say we go down to 135, it's a lot less easy to see. And if we go all the way down to like 15, you can like barely see it at all. So I'm going to Control Z that. And so the only way I can really see this is if I go to the editor on Skindex, and it'll show it as full opacity, and then I can just go back here and erase it all. You can also erase it all in the Skindex, but I just like doing most of my work in here. I'll show you all that in later videos, but don't worry. We'll get into more depth later on. So to make it darker, you're just going to tap on here. You can tap as many times as you want, and it'll slowly make it darker. And look at that. It's just amazing. Click as much as you want, and you could go straight to full white and just tap that as much as you want. It's also nice because you can make gradients with hues. So say I want to make this a little more blue down here, you can just tap that a bunch. I want to bring the opacity up a bit so it shows more. And look at that. You just keep tapping, and each time you tap, it gets that much darker. It's beautiful. It's really cool. So I'll show you all the tricks you can do with that later on. You can do this in Skindex, it's just harder. And I'll show you how. It just takes more time, which is why I like this better. So size, this is also really nice. If you wanted to make, like, say, giant 3 pixel wide squares for some reason, I don't know why. Bring opacity all the way up to 255 again. And if you just tap, that will be the size. Sometimes if I want to just change a texture real quick, I'll just do eraser with this size, and then make my new texture. But I'll show you that in a different video. You can go down to 2. It goes all the way up to, like, who knows how much, like a crazy amount. And also, notice when I do Control Z, it gets rid of that entire action, not just pixel by pixel, which I love about Blockbench. So it just makes things a lot faster. Now let's go back down to 1. You're pretty much always going to want to be in 1. Sometimes you might not, but it just makes things a little crazier. You can also edit in here if you just tap. Notice how that appeared, but it's just harder to see everything, and then you have to, like, you can't really tell where the layer is and all that. You have to, like, guess. It's just a lot more confusing. It's just a nice reference to show you what the PNG file is, and you'll get used to seeing it. And if there's a spot that's, like, not shaded, that's hidden, you can actually look here and you'll notice, like, everything's shaded except this one little arm size square, and you'll know that you're missing a spot. I'll show you that later, but it's just really handy to have this in the left hand corner. So I'm going to Control Z all those crazy dots. Even without looking for them, I can see here that they're gone. So already that window's really nice. I think I've shown you everything you really need. If there's anything I'm missing, when I show you all the techniques, we'll go into it in other videos, but that's just the general features you're going to want. If you want to explore and play around, be my guest. If you find something really cool, let me know, because honestly, I could use some new cool tools to use as well. Now, let's say Lemon Man is done. He is looking beautiful, and we're ready to export him. What we're going to do first is we're going to save it, and it'll save it to your files as a PNG, and you'll just go to the Skindex editor, and hold on. I'm going to, and then you'll hit upload from computer. I'm not going to show you my files, but know that that opens up. And then I'm just going to go to downloads. That it should pop up near the beginning, and you'll just click that. Mine's called Steve, and I'll just do open. And now we're back here, and it'll say, what type of skin is this? Remember which one you did, otherwise it'll look really weird. Mine was 4 pixel arms, classic. And look at that, it's on here, and you can see everything. If you had something that was opacity 10, you couldn't tell before, it'll appear black, or whatever color you used, and you can just erase it here, or go back to Blockbench and erase it there. Yeah, you can, if you double click it, you can change the name. So say I want to call this Lemon Man. It helps for saving it, lemon_man, and it'll just confirm that. And now he's Lemon Man. If you want to import a texture from your files, you're just going to hit this and it'll open it up, and you just pick your file and that will open. If you want to create a new texture, you can just do that, give it a name, confirm, and then I'll just quickly get rid of the outer layer, pick your base color, element, and then you've got one going already. Amazing. And yeah, you started your new texture. Easy enough, that's your new skin. You can have multiple open at the same time, which is another thing Skindex can't do, so that's really nice. Okay, lastly, I'll get into other stuff later, but you can change your interface settings by just going to Preferences, Settings. Preview has a lot of good stuff like brightness, see how easily you can see it, shading and stuff. So just play around with that and see what you like. We can look into that more later if you want, just let me know in the comments. And yeah, that's pretty much all we're going to have for this, and then I'm just going to quickly show you what the app has for us. So to download that, you're just going to hit download button, and if you're using a Mac, you'll hit that option. Linux, like Ubuntu, you'll use this. My computer is now Windows, so I'd hit that. And you'll click the installer. It'll download an exe file. Once it's downloaded, you'll find it in you'll go to your files. You'll look at you'll find the downloaded file. It's probably going to be under downloads or recent. Or you can actually probably just click it here. And it'll open it up and it'll install the app. It might ask if it can make changes to your device. Click yes. This, assuming you've gotten this from a safe site, it's not going to be an issue. But if you're afraid to do something like that, you can literally just use the web version, no worries. So it's pretty much the same thing, so I'm just going to spend like a minute on this. You'll just do the Minecraft skin, create new model, all the good stuff, confirm, and then bam. Everything here is pretty much the same. I don't know if there's much of a difference at all. Yeah, so the only real difference I can think of is that this doesn't need Wi-Fi. There's been like 3 instances where I've had power outages and I was just able to work on stuff here, but you can't do that in the web. Just remember to save it and that everything's all good when your Wi-Fi is back so you don't lose anything. And yeah, that's pretty much all we have for now. Thank you for sticking with me, and let me know if you have any questions. Get hyped for our next video, which should be general features of making skins and just how to make like a skin without any shading or textures or anything like that, and make things proportions good and all that. And I'll show you all the tricks I use for that. So stick around if you found this interesting and you're excited to try out the new tools and software, and just give me some feedback. Tell me in the comments. If we get enough people following this, then I could make a Discord server and then people can really ask questions and collaborate, and I think that'd be really cool. But it's unlikely I'll get that much. This is just for fun, so yeah, just let me know what you think. And please, if you liked it, hit like and subscribe, because that's what keeps me going here. I'm not getting paid for this, so please. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you for watching. Art Dragon out.